So the last presentation will be given by Nicolas Anquet, who is working with STMicroelectronics in the microcontroller group as a chief hardware engineer, and he will present how some of the solutions of the safe microcontroller family of components, STM32, can address some of the challenges of industrial systems on the side of security.
Hello, everybody. Can you see me and hear me?
Yes, very well. Thank you.
Okay, very good. So thank you very much for your invitation today. So yes, I'm going to quite briefly explain what ST can propose to the securization of the industrial IoT through its portfolio of secure and standard microcontrollers. And as you mentioned, I'm working in the microcontroller division in the architecture team, in charge of all the security aspects around STM32. So the goal of this presentation is to explain how STMicroelectronics portfolio of standard and secure microcontroller components can serve the industrial IoT, as very well explained by previous speakers. This topic is quite complex, and the ecosystem is complex, and the technology involved are coming from the IT, but yeah, we are dealing with some complicated technology and very individuals that are very eager to break the security for their own good, I would say. So this slide is just to mention that ST has been in the security market for more than 20 years now. So we started with smart card in the smart card ecosystem, providing solutions for telecom through SIM cards, for example. We have been working also to embed specific application in SIM card. But then growing from SIM card to application processor, for example, I was working for security in ST Ericsson family of application processors. And we have been deploying, for example, on those application processors for mobile phones running Android, some trusted application running on a global platform compliant trusted execution environment. So that was the starting of a complex offering with a hybrid of software and hardware running on a ARM TrustZone CPU. And from the secure micro side, they have been working, on top of smart card business, they have been developing contactless cards on NFC solution. And also my colleague in the standard microcontroller division have created the world first Cortex-M, ARM Cortex-M microcontroller in 2007, starting the very successful STM32 family. So today we are in 2020. Clearly, the security market is now booming with a multiple of ecosystem. Let's say I'm listing IoT, industrial, and smart driving, but I'm probably missing few of ecosystem. ST offering for this ecosystem is still STM32, which is very strong, very very versatile and easy to use, but at the beginning, we didn't start very secure. We were mostly relying on ST secure micro solution like eSIM and ST Safe to boost the security of the overall product. But in the last years, we have been working in STM32 team to increase our level of security to offer more alternative to our customers in deploying security for IoT and, for example, for IoT and industrial. And today I'm going to talk specifically to. I'm going to give a small focus on industrial, on IoT. So we are providing solutions, but how our customer choose what solution to take from ST, because we have hardware, but we have also in STM32 we have partners, we have embedded firmwares, we have that can be used. So it can be quite daunting to find the right trade-off when designing a product. So I'm going to quickly explain how it's usually done in the industry to design a secure product. So first you start with the risk management. So first you have to understand the value of the assets you are going to protect. Take, for example, talking with all the stakeholders that are going to use the assets. You are as the owner of the product, you estimate the value of the assets. Then you understand the threats and vulnerabilities associated with these assets. So this is Mr. Threat here, that's going to exploit possible attacks on, for example, if your product is connected to the internet, the possibility of attacks are quite daunting and numerous. And for each of those attacks, for maybe internal risks that are unknown from the outside world, you have to develop security strategies to reduce the risk using the right level of security in line with the value of the assets you want to protect. Because as it has been mentioned before, sometimes you have to find a good trade-off between security and the cost of securing the asset. Otherwise, the cost of your overall product would be not competitive. And the key recipe for success in this endeavor is usage of cryptographic tools and for example, integrity methods. But those tools, those cryptographic tools and methods, will be part of a design strategy. It's not enough to have an AES-256 to secure your product. You need to think it from the ground up. You have to think of as the expert used to say, the devil are in the details. So having a great AES engine is not enough to have a complete secure system. So the correct strategy to design a good product, the security of a product, is to start from day one, taking security into account. On how you do that, so you identify the asset you plan to protect. Then you design the product based on the appropriate level of security for each of the assets you have identified. Then you are going to develop methods and process to protect those assets over the entire life cycle of the product. So that's quite important because first you have to produce the product with usually quite sensitive firmware. You don't want this firmware to be hijacked during the production of your device. But then afterwards, as soon as you find vulnerabilities, you would want to upgrade the firmware that has been flashed into your device, your product. And sometimes some customers are really sensitive in managing the end of life of the product they have put on the market. So that would be the design strategy you have to follow in order to have a secure product. So in the context of industrial systems, I took the example of that has been mentioned before during the talks before. I took the example of IEC 62443. So the first step, as I mentioned, you need to assess the risk. So in the process suggested by this norm, you have a list of security requirements, and based on your product, on your system, you have to give a priority based on a security level you want to achieve. On this security level, so ranging from 1 quite low to 4 very, very high level of security, you would select the right level based on the probability of the attack from high to very low, on the impact of the attack from minor impact to very severe impact to your system or your component. So once you have defined the target security level, you will build your system from the component to the system level using the right security level, so from medium to very high. And then you will evaluate what you achieved deploying your system design with something called security level achieved. And if you match, if your SLA match your SLT, then you have achieved your target. If you are below your target, then you have to take the decision. Do you need to come back to the design board, the drawing boards, or can you leave with the discrepancy between the target and the achieved level of security? So in order to help our customer to run such process, ST has a scalable security offer for the industrial IoT, because this process is typically recommended for the industrial systems. I will not spend too much time here, just to mention that so in the microcontroller memory and secure MCU division, we have a wide range of portfolio of products that can be used to secure such complex ecosystems, so computer, robots, cars or trucks or delivery system connected to the internet or talking to each other. So first thing we could do, for example, with an ST Safe, we could have a secure ID authentication mechanism to verify who is talking to whom in a secure way. There would be some solution to implement secure storage of keys and parameters, either in ST Safe or in STM32 with a good level of security, but I will come back to this. Then at lower level, at Datacom level, we have solution to secure communication, to secure over-the-air firmware install and updates. For example, using eSIM, and also ST Safe on STM32. On the root, the core of the security for those two Datacom level and application level securization system is the hardware level root of trust, the secure boot, sometimes the device integrity to check that everything is running as expected on the component itself. So, and we have two main offerings in ST. We have the ST Safe offering and the STM32 offering, with obviously not the same level of achievable security that I'm going to explain now. So for STM32, we are targeting a wide range of applications from smartwatch to robots on washing machine or drones. So we have various level of security expected. So in order to help our customer to understand what they have to deploy at which level of security, on using which component, which could be pure hardware, a mix of hardware and software, or pure software, we have analyzed the latest security recommendation from, for example, CZIP for global platform, and we have categorized 12 security functions that the customer should look at in order to secure their product. So, for example, we find a secure boot that I mentioned before. We have secure manufacturing, ensuring that you are provisioning the correct firmware in the microcontroller. I mentioned the secure install and update of firmware over the air. The usage of cryptography for authentication and integrity verification, etc. The management of life cycle, secure storage of keys, management of abnormal situation, like intrusion of attempt of physical attack on the product, etc., etc. On identification, authentication. So everything you have seen on the last slide is obviously present in the STM Trust approach that you can find right now on the st.com/STM32Trust. So we have a bunch of. It's a kind of white paper with a link to key application notes on technical documentation to explain how to achieve this using either only STM32 microcontroller or a combination of STM32 microcontroller with an ST Safe secure element. So I mentioned that so STM32 is trying to increase the level of security, so we cannot do it by ourselves. It will not be nobody would trust only ST. We need to rely on a third party to attest that we have the right level of security. So we are using, so we have been embracing the ARM PSA certification program in order to assess our security implementation, and to also to help the deployment, for example, of a trusted firmware application on our hardware. So the idea is we have an API compliancy, so you can take ST trusted firmware to run your security on the microcontroller, or you can develop your own on top of ARM PSA APIs to lower the overall cost of the security on your microcontroller. Recently, ARM PSA has been, the certain aspect of ARM PSA has been taken at European level through CESIP. So CESIP is now level 3, I think is run by a global platform. And we are now working with labs in order to get a stamp that we are, for example, CESIP level 3 would be, we have some white box text testing of our security with a time limited. And then if the lab does not find any vulnerability, checking at our source code on a data sheet, on a detailed hardware specification, they would give us the CESIP level that we have been applied. We applied for. So today we have a CESIP level 3 for STM32L4 with SBSFU firmware. But we have also been approved compliant with ARM PSA level 2, which is also a white box certification by a lab, an independent lab, running ST trusted firmware. So STM32L5 is a Cortex-M4 with Trust Zone extension, and so the core of the security, trusted boot, firmware update, firmware install is running on Trust Zone, while the motor control or the non-security application is running on the non-secure part of Trust Zone. If you need more than CESIP, if you need common criteria level of security, for example, for your key storage, then we recommend that you use an STSafe product. And ST has a family of STSafe product called Secure Element. And depending on what you want to achieve for your security solution, so that range from IoT node to IoT infrastructure, you can choose either an optimized STSafe A, cost efficient, very good for authentication, securing connection, good for secure storage. It has been deployed to secure LoRa, Sigfox, and IoT nodes. So that's why they use probably an optimized solution because of the cost. Then when you need more flexibility, when you need to deploy your own Java-based security solution running on a super secure element, then you can use the STSafe J product that has been certified CC EAL5+. And here, obviously, you can do everything you need to have a good level of security for your IoT node or IoT infrastructure, even though I agree that even if you have a super duper STSafe J and it's badly used by the overall product, it's badly integrated, it has not been paired with some critical function running on the non-secure microcontroller, then you probably have an issue. So that's why it's important actually that's what we did in STM32 Trust. We do have also some, we propose some collaboration between STM32 and an STSafe, probably I think through application notes or example of codes. And such solution has been selected by NanoElec, where I'm talking today, in order to implement a securization sorry, it was written, I wrote it on this slide. In the context of IRT Pulse, NanoElec, securization of the industrial IoT, the CEA and our partner in the IRT has selected STM32 plus STSAFE TPM in order to implement the highest level of security for their industrial IoT products. And the TPM is here. So this product is certified CC EL4+, TCG because that's a consortium that is specifying the TPM. So that would be the specification for the TPM. Okay, and this is NIST FIPS 140-2. And TPM is very good for example, secure storage, managing a node in a network. Like Microsoft is very fond of TPM to secure a bunch of Windows computers connected to a network. And it's also able to run platform integrity at boot time on ensuring that any firmware upgrade has been verified is authentic. Wrapping up this talk, so based on your analysis of the risk, ST portfolio of standard and secure microcontroller is here to help you meet the security level target of your design. So you can, if you want to have something cost effective, for example, using STM32 with TrustZone, you can go the STM32 route, implementing the right, following what we recommend in STM32 Trust. Or you can go the route of using a secure element like we did in NanoElec with STSAFE TPM, where the long-term keys, the very critical keys are stored in the secure element. And when they are needed, the secure element will deliver session keys that are then used in real time by the STM32 microcontroller. Thank you for your attention, and I'm open to questions, if any.